So here we are at Crossroads with the impossible level, and what I've done is just start off where I have a little bit of a maze right here, and I'm trying to pull everybody over into this corner right here. Once I have them pretty much moved over there, I can go ahead and add a tower. In this case, I add a lightning tower, which goes ahead as they get closer. We'll go ahead and take a few more points away from them. On the other side, I've started to go ahead and build a similar thing. I want to make it where they have to go to the exact opposite corner, travel the exact farthest they can, so I'm going to pull them all the way over to this corner. Once I have that, the next thing to start doing is having a place where I could pull them in case I need to use mana, which I will. I will need to use mana. I can even start the next wave, just get them going. I just need money at this point. And so I am going to go ahead, again, make that a little bit more dangerous there, and then add some stuff right here. There we go. And now I could pull them over there, and we'll see in a minute. I'm going to start needing to use my mana in a minute. By the time I actually have to use that mana, they have to run quite a distance. But even better than that, there's one just regular wall which I could remove and make them have to even run further once I add one wall to it. So I remove the brick wall, I add one arrow tower, and they have to now go really far to get there. From here, it's just adding that to the maze, and whenever my mana gets up to 100, going ahead, turning them around, and they never even really get close to the portals they're trying to get to. By now I've added quite a bit to the maze, and I've kept them over on the left-hand side for a reason. I want to have it so that when I do have to add mana, which I'll do right now, notice that the circle is not covering a lot of that left-hand side. So their path now is just getting longer and longer and longer. There's no way they're going to be able to get all the way back around, but the ones that are just coming out are still going forward. This is going to gather them over on that left-hand side. So that's where you'll see almost all of my orcs stay, is just right there on that left-hand side, and they never even really get close at all to the portals. They get further and further away. By now I've built up the entire maze, and there's just no way they're going to get anywhere close to the portals. I've added just the regular walls in the center. They're really not going to even be needed. They don't get past that point about right there, right about when they have to turn around. But in case something goes wrong, they have that huge long distance to go through, and in a minute I could start replacing towers with more powerful ones, or updating my towers, and just try to kill them on that left-hand side. But it really doesn't matter how many are there, they're just sort of stuck on that left-hand side. We're now on the last wave. I've added some extra towers. I've updated a lot of my towers in the middle. Actually could have done things a little bit more efficiently with the radioactive tower that I added, make them have to take a little bit longer there, but it really doesn't matter. They are pretty much just stuck over on that left-hand side. They haven't got past that middle point, which I didn't want them to get to, and as you can see, I still have 20 lives left. Just right now it's a matter of time of waiting and updating if I want to, or maybe just sitting there and gaining gold to get a few points, and the game is pretty much over. One other nice trick with this whole maze idea is I can go ahead and remove that one wall and go ahead just add it back over. Right now I'm having apparently to figure out where I want that wall to go. It's not right there. There it is, right there. And now I've completely changed the maze. They have to go the way they used to have to go to get to the bait. Now they have to go around that direction to try to get to the portals. And of course, by the time they get anywhere close, I could just go ahead and sell that one wall, move it back, and just make them go back and forth that way. I really didn't have to in this game, probably never would have to, but by having the two rows right next to each other, you could change that back and forth, and that's another way of directing the movement if you need to. Here we are at the very end of the game. There we go. The very last orc is dying. I've gone and played around a little bit with the left to see if I can make it more efficient. I didn't have to. But there it is, the entire game. I won. You can even see that's not my highest score ever. I've only played that, though, 5 times, and one of those times you could see was just really playing around. Actually, it looks like 2 of them there. But that's the end of the game. The same idea works when you only have the 2 portals on the standard game, but the bait is the same idea. They have to run all the way back around to get that bait. And as long as you have that, they never really get that close to their goal. And the game becomes really pretty easy at that point.